India, a country like no other. Our search for the perfect motorcycle has led us to roads far and wide. Roads that are like this, and this. Today I get a chance to finally figure out if India has got the motorcycle it needs.
The 390 adventure is finally here. While you and I know all about the specs, it is only fair that I talk about the experience. I got a chance to ride it on the road and off it too. Let's begin.
You remember how much fun we used to have while taking the Duke 390 out on the highway? Well, the 390 Adventure feels exactly the same. In fact, it's BS6 compliant. The vibrations have gone down, become a lot quieter. The sweet spot of the Duke 390 used to be in the higher rev range, and it's the same for the 390 Adventure. You have to be on the gas to really experience the joy of it. But once you enter that golden, that sweet spot, oh boy, on the highways, it is so much fun. Also, the gearing has remained the same, and so have the gear ratios. No changes, absolutely nothing at all. But the complaints actually begin when you go off-road. The engine lugs at lower revs, so you have to constantly play around with the clutch and modulate and try to figure out if you can actually push it forward. The Duke 390 also had the problem of heating. The fan used to kick in very early, not with the 390 Adventure. Instead of a single fan in the middle, the radiator is now shaped differently to accommodate two fans, one on each end. It kicks in quite late, and it also settles down fairly fast. But apart from that, it's a nice engine. I really like it on the highways, not so much on off-road. Yup, it is tall. 855 mm of seat height is no joke. That's about 25 mm taller than the Duke 390. Well, it's no problem for me because I'm 6'2" and I've got both my feet firmly on the floor. It's gonna be a pain when you're constantly trying to keep your foot down in city bumper-to-bumper traffic. But tall bikes are easier to get by in traffic. That's a fact. Let's talk about the ergos. Whatever problems you all had with the Duke 390, that's been sorted out with the 390 Adventure. So the handlebar's nice, long, upright. The foot pegs are not so rear set. The seat is not only softer than the Duke 390, but it's also longer, which means you can scoot around in the front. You've got lots of room to scoot around at the back. The biggest question is going to be the pillion seat. The pillion seat again is softer. This is a split seat, but keeping luggage I think is going to be a problem, especially soft luggage. The riding position on the road is pretty comfortable. I think I can probably sit in the saddle for one full tank. But for taller people, I think the real problem is going to be when you're trying to hold the tank because it's super narrow, so you have to really get your knees in. And I think handlebar risers, especially for someone like me, is going to be a necessity. So, what's gone up and what's gone down? This is where the change to the riding dynamics comes into effect. Now, when you compare it to the Duke 390, the wheelbase is now longer by 73 mm, the weight's gone up by about 13 kilograms, the fuel tank capacity is up by about 1.1 liters, and the ground clearance as well is increased by 15 mm. But if you're thinking that the 390 Adventure has gotten sluggish going around corners or with the increase in weight, you're absolutely wrong. It still feels as agile as ever. It's so much fun going around corners, and it absolutely does not feel slow or sluggish. So the kind of fun that you had with the Duke 390, you can expect all of it with the 390 Adventure as well.
The overall ride quality is firm, but in a good way. Almost reminded me of the Expulsive setup. The suspension, though long travel, does not have a lot of travel. The fork refuses to pump and extend as much as you want to, even when you try doing that at standstill. And that's more of a problem off-road. This is a pretty comprehensive electronic suite for a 373cc motorcycle. On the road, what really works is the cornering ABS. Going fast around a corner, you spot a dog crossing, a man jaywalking, slam on the brakes, and the bike, instead of standing up, continues to maintain the line while keeping you safe. In a straight line, you've got road ABS to prevent the wheels from locking. Head into the dirt and switch to off-road ABS, which essentially is the supermoto mode for the Duke range. The rear locks when you step hard, and tightening the line becomes easier. However, there's a problem, and it's been around in the KTM lineup since a very long time. The traction control when off will come back on every time the bike stalls and comes back to life. Every single time. It's stupid, it's annoying, and really gets in your way of enjoying those slides. The bidirectional quick shifter works brilliantly while downshifting, but the upshift had a mind of its own, shifting erratically, at least on my motorcycle. As far as power parts go, KTM is going to enter with 6 in the first month. GPS bracket, fork protector, a lighter aluminium sprocket, handlebar brace, helmet lock and a headlight protector. No sign of spoke trims or adjustable suspension.
Finally, the moment that all of mankind has been waiting for. The price, rupees 2.99 lakh at showroom for the 390 Adventure. Now, the most obvious question that you guys have in your mind probably is the price justified for the motorcycle that the 390 Adventure really is? I think yes, but only for its touring abilities or capabilities. It's a fun, fast motorcycle on the road. It's more comfortable than the Duke 390, gets to those 3 digits very, very quickly, likes to stay at those numbers for a very long time. So if you're planning to do about 1,000 kilometers a day, I think the 390 Adventure is going to be a fantastic motorcycle. But the problem really lies when you talk about its adventure tag, when you try to take it off-road. The tires don't work very well off-road with this motorcycle. The traction control acts a little weird. But then again, if you ask yourself that question, how many times are you going to take this off-road? Well, if your spontaneous answer is maybe once a weekend, then the 390 Adventure for all the other things is a fantastic, fantastic motorcycle.
If you really want to take this off-road, aftermarket spoke trims, suspension, more off-road spec tires and a bigger rear sprocket will make the dirt experience a lot more fun.
If you're willing to wait for long, there is the affordable 250 Adventure that's going to hit the market really soon. But if you're looking for adventure the size of a 790, you'll have to wait till April 2020. But for now, the 390 Adventure is here, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Varun Painter and I will see you later.